Hi, guys. You are welcome to our next episode of our e-learning program for English literacy. I'm Uncle Gideon, the facilitator for English Grade 4. And today we are moving on to conjunctions as a new topic for this 5th episode. All right. So what at all is conjunctions? What at all is conjunctions? So what are conjunctions? Conjunctions are little words like and, but, and or that are used to connect or join concepts, clauses, or parts of sentences. Conjunctions are little words like and, but, and or that are used to connect or join concepts, clauses, or parts of sentences. So, like the explanation goes, any word that are used or any word that is used to connect different ideas, different concepts, or different clauses is referred to as a conjunction. So let us look at some of the examples of how conjunctions are used. I was going to see a movie, but I changed my mind. I was going to see a movie, but I changed my mind. The second example, she couldn't decide if she would take tea or oath. She couldn't decide if she would take tea or oath. And the third example, I had chocolate cake and Michael had carrot cake. I had chocolate cake and Michael had carrot cake. Now let's look at this. I was going to see a movie. I changed my mind. These are two different clauses. And before we could join the two clauses together, we had to use a conjunction to join them together. She couldn't decide if she would take tea. So tea here is one thing, oath is another thing. But we use the conjunction or to join the two words together. I had chocolate cake. Michael had carrot cake. Two different clauses. And we use the conjunction and to join the two clauses together. So these are conjunctions and then what they are used for or what they seek to achieve in sentences. So we can move on to uses of conjunction. Uses of conjunctions. So in the use of a conjunction, the first one, we say that conjunctions connect thoughts. Conjunctions connect thoughts, ideas, actions, nouns, clauses, etc. Conjunctions connect thoughts, ideas, actions, nouns, clauses, etc. So we can look at some examples down there. Martha went to the market. Martha went to the market and then bought fresh vegetables. Bought fresh vegetables. In this sentence, the conjunction and can connect the two things Martha did. Martha went to the market, bought fresh vegetables. In this sentence, like I said earlier, the conjunction and will connect the two things Martha did. So, she actually went to the market. That is one thing. And then she bought fresh vegetables, another thing. So two things, or two thoughts, or two actions. These are two actions that have been joined together with the conjunction and. The second example, or the second use of a conjunction, conjunctions can also make lists. We use conjunction to make less. So we bought rice, fruits, and vegetables. As we are making the list of things we bought, we needed this conjunction to join them together, apart from using the comma. So we use conjunctions to make less as well. Let's move on to our next topic or point. That is types of conjunctions. Types of conjunctions. So, there are three main types of conjunctions. Three main types of conjunctions. And those are the coordinating conjunction, subordinating conjunction, and then correlative conjunction. Coordinating conjunction, subordinating conjunction, and the correlative conjunction. But for the purpose of our lesson and requirement in our curriculum, we are going to focus on the coordinating conjunction and probably the subordinating conjunction. So, the basic one we are treating now is the coordinating conjunction. So, when we say a coordinating conjunction, what at all does it mean? Coordinating conjunction. They are conjunctions that join two independent clauses. And when we talk about independent clauses, we are referring to a statement that makes a full meaning. So two statements that make full meaning, two different statements, they make full meaning, but then we join them together by using a coordinating conjunction. So they are conjunctions that join two independent clauses, or two nouns, or two verbs, etc. And then the examples of coordinating conjunctions, we have 7 examples. We have mainly 7 examples of coordinating conjunctions. They are for, and, nor, but, or, yet, and then so. For, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. And the interesting thing is, you can remember easily these 7 examples with the acronym FUN BOYS. FUN BOYS. So immediately we mention coordinating conjunctions. One basic thing that should come in your mind, or that should come to mind, is FUN BOYS. They are the 7 examples of coordinating conjunctions. So, example, we didn't have much money, but we were happy. We didn't have much money, but we were happy. Now, let's take note of this. There is always a comma before the coordinating conjunction, which separates two independent clauses. There should always be a comma. As in the example, there should always be a comma before the coordinating conjunction, which separates two independent clauses. Take note of that. So before a coordinating conjunction will be used in a sentence, there should be a comma before the coordinating conjunction comes in. All right, so we're going to talk about when and how to use any of the coordinating conjunctions. I hope I can move on. All right, so let's take a look at them. Now, uses of the coordinating conjunctions. Below is a list of the 7 coordinating conjunctions and how to use them. How to use them. So we are taking them one after the other, then we explain how or what they mean in a sentence. So the first one is for. For. It explains a reason or purpose. It explains reason or purpose. Just like because. Just like because. It explains the reason for something happening, or the reason for doing something, or the purpose for doing something. That is what the word for, or the conjunction for, seeks to explain. So let's take example, which will help us to understand it better. I love going to the park every weekend, for I love to play. I love going to the park every weekend, for I love to play. I love going to the park. What is the reason for me loving to go to the park every weekend? The reason being that I love to play. So for is explaining the reason or the purpose to which I love going to the park. That is the explanation for the conjunction for. Let's take another example. I will not bath this morning. Why won't you bath? For there is no water in the house. For there is no water in the house. I will not bath this morning, for there is no water in the house. So the reason for I not bathing, or for me not bathing this morning, is that there is no water in the house. So we use for, the coordinating conjunction for, to explain reason or purpose for something. So let's take note of this. For the first clause, or the already stated clause, that is the basic or the fact. And then the second part of the clause, or the second clause, is the reason for the first stated clause. The reason for this first stated clause. That is why we use for. And until you get to know this, you might be tempted to use a different thing altogether. So the second clause always explains the reason for the first or the already stated clause. I believe you've understood this. Let's move on to the second conjunction, and that is and. And. It adds one thing to the other, or adds one similar idea, verb, thought, or phrase to the other. It adds one thing to the other, or adds one similar idea, or one similar verb, one similar thought, or a similar phrase to the other. The conjunction and makes a list when they are similar, when the list you are making is the same, or you are talking about the same thing or a similar thing that can be put together. Let's take some examples. I like to read and write faithfully in my journal every night. I love to read and write faithfully in my journal every night. In this particular sentence, we are making a list of verbs, similar verbs. I like to read. At the same time, we like to write faithfully. And the correct or the right coordinating conjunction to be used is and. Listing similar thoughts or similar ideas or similar actions that are performed together. In this example, the reading is something we like. The writing is something we like. They are similar, so we join them with and. The second example, we shall go to the mall and to the market before we come home. We shall go to the mall and to the market before we come home. The two similar things we are doing here is we are going to the mall. At the same time, we'll go to the market. And the correct coordinating conjunction to be used is and. Because we are using or we are joining together two similar actions that will be done at the same time. I believe you have understood up to this point as well. We have treated 2 out of the 7 coordinating conjunctions. Let's move on to the next coordinating conjunction. And that is nor. Nor. It is used to present an alternative negative idea to an already stated negative idea. It is used to present an alternative negative idea to an already stated negative idea. So the first part of the statement will be negative. And then the second part of the sentence will also be negative. 2 different clauses. First clause, negative. The second clause, negative. And we use nor to connect them. The moment you use nor, meaning negative. Let's take some examples. I neither love nor hate watching TV. I neither love nor hate watching TV. The already negative statement stated is I neither love. The word neither is negative. And under conjunctions, that is correlative conjunctions, neither nor is a correlative conjunction. But we are using only the nor under coordinating conjunctions. I neither love, negative. It has already been stated. Nor hate watching TV. So this statement basically explains that I don't love watching TV. And I don't hate watching TV. I don't like both. This is negative. The other part too is negative. Second example. Neither the girl nor the boy is here. Neither the girl nor the boy is here. In this particular example, it means the girl is not there, the boy too is not there. So the first clause or phrase is neither the girl is not there, nor the boy is here. The boy too is not here. And then we move on to the next point. But don't forget, it is used to present or connect an alternative negative idea to an already stated negative idea. We move on to D. But. But. But shows contrast. Shows contrast. But shows contrast. Let's take the examples and I'll explain the contrast. Pat looked at the doll, but she couldn't afford to buy. Pat looked at the doll, but she couldn't afford to buy. The second example. Bill went to work. Bill went to work, but he didn't punch in. But he didn't punch in. Now, when we talk about contrast, this is what it means. I want to explain using the examples. Pat looked at the doll. Now, this is the contrast. By looking at the doll, basically, the logical thing that will come to mind is you will be able to buy it. And the contrast here is, logically, we expected Pat to buy the doll. But she wasn't able to buy it. And that is the contrast. She not being able to buy it, even when she had looked at it, is the contrast. It doesn't agree logically. So logically, looking at it means she should have been able to buy it. But she looked at it, but was not able to buy it. Now, to the second example, in our various institutions or workplaces, most of us have the clock-in system. Now, here is it. Bill went to work. And whenever any worker or employee comes to work, logically, we expect that person to clock in. Bill went to work. He didn't punch in. It is not logical. It is a contrast. It shows contrast. Since he went to work, he should have punched in, but he didn't punch in. So that is the contrast. So with the first statement or the first clause being connected to the second clause, which is a contrast to the first clause, we need but. We need but to connect the two. I hope it's clear. To our next point, and that is or. Or. It connects or presents an alternative or a choice. It connects or presents an alternative or a choice. Perhaps you are left with two options to choose from. You are not supposed to take the two at a time. You need to take only one. We use or to make or to ask or to make, show or connect the alternative or the choice which you would make. So example, sorry for this. Would you rather read a book or watch a TV show? Would you rather read a book or watch a TV show? So the choices here are to read a book and then to watch a TV show. And you are supposed to choose one of the two. You are supposed to choose one of the two. Are you going for the book reading or you are going for the TV show? We use or to connect or present an alternative or a choice. This is very simple, and I'm sure you have really understood this. All right. Our next point, that is yet. Yet. It introduces a contrasting idea. A contrasting idea that follows the preceding or already stated idea logically. That is, it connects illogical clause to a fact. It connects illogical clause to a fact, and the fact has already been stated. As we explained in the but, yet is similar to the but. And here, in the yet, the contrasting idea is stated later on. And then, the already stated idea, which we expect to be logical, the second statement wouldn't be logical, just as in the but. Let's take the examples. I always take a book to the beach. I always take a book to the beach, yet I never seem to turn a single page. I always take a book to the beach. And of course, if somebody takes a book along to wherever he or she is going, all we expect from the person is to read. And if the person doesn't read it, that is not logical. So, the already stated idea logically is I always take a book to the beach. That is the fact. That is a fact. Yet, I never seem to turn a single page. That is illogical. I never seem to turn a single page as illogical. So far as you are holding the book, we expect that you open it. And if you don't open it, that is not logical. And that is what yet is used to connect. Let's take the second example. Deserts are harsh and dry. Deserts are harsh and dry, yet many plants grow there. Deserts are harsh and dry, yet many plants grow there. Of course, if you don't know a desert, it is a place where plants is not supposed to go there. Because we know deserts not to be having water flowing around. And it is very hot on the desert. It's very dry as well, since there is no water. So logically, we don't expect plants to grow on the desert. But in this sentence, we have plants growing there. That is illogical as compared to the first already stated clause over there. We use yet to connect a contrasting idea that follows the preceding. And the preceding is the first part of the sentence. That is yet for you and what they seek to do. The last, but not the least, point, that is so. So. So indicates or connects effect, result, or consequence. It indicates or connects effect, result, or consequence. Now, so, connecting an effect of something, or the result of something, or the consequence of something. In this case, the second clause explains the result or the effect of doing the first clause. So in this example, I like to read. And what is the result of you liking to read, or the effect? So my grammar is always on point. My grammar always being on point is as a result of me liking to read. Secondly, the guy is a driver. And if he is a driver, what is the effect? What is the cause? What is the importance? So he knows the transport business. On this note, I'll bring this particular episode to a close. So we meet again. Stay home, stay safe. Don't forget to wash your hands with soap and running water. This too shall pass.